If a thief grabbed your iPhone on your next trip, could he get into your bank in under a minute? For most travelers, the answer is yes, and it comes down to a few settings that most people never turn on. Let's fix that right now. By the end of this video, your iPhone will be locked down so tight that even if a thief steals your iPhone and knows your passcode, they won't be able to steal the rest of your life. Last year, 71,000 phones were snatched in London alone, which comes out to one phone theft every 7 to 8 minutes. And that's just in one city. This is not some rare thing that only happens to other people. So let's protect ourselves, starting with the mistake that hands thieves the keys to everything. Most people think a thief needs to be some sort of tech genius hacker to get into your phone. He doesn't. He just needs to be standing near you when you type in your passcode. So the first habit to change is simple. Stop typing your passcode in public. Use Face ID for everything, and on the rare occasion where you do need to type in your passcode, cover your screen with your hand the same way you do at an ATM. But the real fix is a setting buried deep in your phone that most people have never bothered to turn on. And this is the single most important thing in this whole video. It's called Stolen Device Protection. First, go to Settings, tap Face ID and Passcode, scroll down to Stolen Device Protection, turn it on, and set it to away from familiar locations or always. I personally chose always. Here's what that does for you. When your phone is somewhere unfamiliar, like away from home or work, it requires more than just your passcode to do important stuff. For example, some of the first things that a thief wants to do when they steal your phone is to change your Apple ID password to lock you out, or to change your Face ID, your passcode, or other security settings. But if you have Stolen Device Protection turned on, it now demands your face and doesn't accept just your passcode. Then it forces a 1-hour delay before you can change anything, and then it requires your Face ID again after the hour's up. That 1-hour delay makes all the difference because it gives you time to react before a thief can lock you out. And it means if they steal your phone when it's already unlocked, then they can't lock you out unless they have your face 1 hour later. While you're in that Face ID and password screen, you can add in even more security if you want. For example, you can change your passcode from 4 digits to 6 digits, or even add word and number combinations. Just tap Change Passcode, then Passcode Options, then Custom Alphanumeric Code. A 4-digit code is super easy to read over your shoulder. A 6-digit code is a little harder, but a random word with numbers mixed in is almost impossible to catch from across the bar. That said, I personally find that a 6-digit code is the sweet spot between security and convenience. Okay, but let's say a thief gets past all that and gets in your phone anyway. I want you to know exactly where he's going first because it's the same playbook every time. First, he opens your Notes app and searches for things like password, social, and card. Then he goes straight for your banking apps, and then he goes for your email because your email is the master key. Once he's in your email, he can reset your password to almost any other account and catch those 2-factor codes as they come in. To prevent this, we're going to put a second lock on the apps that really matter. On any iPhone, you can press and hold an app icon and tap Require Face ID. When you do this, even an unlocked phone won't be able to open that app without your face. I recommend requiring Face ID for your banking apps, your wallet app, your email, your Notes, your password manager, your authenticator app, and any cloud storage like Google Drive. I even set it to require Face ID for Chrome and other browsers because sometimes my email automatically logs into the browser, so they'd be able to access it that way. Then I take it one step further. Press and hold the app, choose Remove App, then Remove from Home Screen. That pulls the app off of your home screen so that it's harder to find. A thief would actually have to scroll all the way over to your app library to see what apps you have. And if you want to lock things down to the max, you can tap and hold an app icon, hit Require Face ID, and choose Hide and Require Face ID. When you do this, the app goes into a hidden folder in your app library, and it requires Face ID to open this folder and even see that the app exists on your phone. I personally don't use the hidden folder feature, but I did decide to just simply delete all of my banking apps from my phone and do my banking stuff from my computer instead. The risk is low that someone would rob or kidnap me and force me to unlock all of these secret apps on my phone. But if you dig into the stories online, it actually does happen. And not just in dangerous countries either. There's stories of this happening in Chicago.
Forced to unlock phones and banking apps at gunpoint. It's happened several times in the last 24 24 hours.
So if I always do all of my banking from my computer anyway, then why risk having the banking apps on my phone? Whether you think this is extreme or not probably depends on where you're traveling and how often you actually need to use those apps on your phone. But in any case, at least having your sensitive apps somewhat hidden makes it that much harder for a thief who's trying to work fast. I just mentioned that thieves search your Notes app for keywords, and this deserves its own warning because many people do exactly this. Stop saving passwords, your social security, or card numbers as plain text, scans, or photos in Notes or Google Drive, especially if you don't have those apps locked with Face ID. A thief doesn't need to scour through every note you've ever written to find your sensitive information. He just searches for keywords like password, PIN, routing, or Amex, and your secrets pop right up. To protect yourself, use a real password manager that's locked behind Face ID instead. I'll link to a popular user-friendly password manager called 1Password, but there's also free options like Bitwarden. And if you absolutely insist on writing something down sensitive in a note, try to disguise it so it's meaningless to anyone else except for you. Or another thing you can do is actually lock individual notes in Apple Notes. To do this, tap and hold the note, then tap lock note, then tap the lock icon. This might sound a little silly, but I also like the idea of setting up a decoy note titled Passwords, then fill it with a few fake logins to banks and accounts that you don't even use. That way you can send any thief on a wild goose chase for a while. Anything you can do to slow down a thief will give you more time to lock down your phone and your accounts, which I'll show you how to do in a second. But first, if you're finding this video helpful so far, hit like and subscribe for more videos on how to travel safer and smarter. Before we go over a list of 5 quick settings that you should always change before traveling, let's go over how you can actually use your phone while you're traveling to stay safe. Because when you're in another country, you're extra vulnerable. You might not know the language, it's easy to get lost, and if there's an emergency, what do? One thing that gives me peace of mind is my Olafly eSIM that I have on my phone that gives me unlimited international data. It means I'm connected the second I land in my destination, and if I ever run into any problems, I have internet to find a solution. Whether that be pulling up a map when you're lost on a dark street, using WhatsApp to make a call or send a message for help, or quickly looking up info to stay safe and avoid scams. What's extra cool about Olafly is their new Always On feature. As soon as you install your eSIM, before you even get to your destination, Always On kicks in and gives you 1 GB of global backup data at no additional cost. This monthly gigabyte of global data stays active even after your eSIM expires. That means you can just leave the eSIM on your phone, and then whenever you have to travel to another country again, it'll be there waiting for you. This comes in super handy if you forget to set up an eSIM for your next trip, or if you have an unexpected layover in a different country. Their travel data plans take like 2 minutes to set up, and you can install it on your phone right now and then just activate it when your trip starts. Whether you need a short-term or a long-term plan, you can get a discount using this QR code or the link in the description and entering code Project Untethered. Big thanks to our friends at Olafly for sponsoring this video. All right, let's run through a checklist of 5 settings you can fix in about a minute. Number 1 is the one we already covered, stolen device protection. If you skipped past it, go to Settings, tap Face ID and Passcode, scroll down to Stolen Device Protection, and switch it on, because it matters more than everything else on this list combined. Number 2, make sure 2-factor authentication is turned on for your Apple ID account. To check, open Settings, tap your name at the very top, and you'll see 2-factor authentication right there. Number 3 is a sneaky one. Go to Settings, tap Face ID and Passcode, scroll down to Allow Access when locked, and turn off Control Center and Wallet. Turning off your wallet while your phone is locked is pretty self-explanatory, but here's why Control Center matters. If a thief can swipe open Control Center without unlocking your phone, he can tap airplane mode in about 1 second and cut your phone off the network. The moment he does that, your live GPS and Wi-Fi tracking goes dark, so you can't watch your phone move on the map in real time. Now, your phone can still ping its location using Bluetooth whenever another iPhone happens to pass by, so it's not completely invisible. But that's not live tracking, and it's a lot less reliable. And when the thief wraps your phone in aluminum foil to help block signals, it'll be even harder to track. So the real lesson is to lock your Control Center down now and move fast if your phone gets stolen. Number 4 is to make sure that Find My is fully switched on. Go to Settings, tap your name at the top, tap Find My, then Find My iPhone, and turn on Find My iPhone, the Find My network, and send last location. And number 5, this one is optional and a little aggressive, and I personally don't do it. But if you want to, go back to settings under Face ID and passcode, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can turn on erase data after 10 failed passcode attempts. Thieves hate this, but you should probably skip it if you have curious kids or grandkids that like to mash buttons. Next is an important bonus that just takes one quick phone call. Scammers can sometimes hijack your actual phone number itself by convincing your carrier to transfer your number to a device they control. And once they get your number, they get all your text message security codes too. This actually has a name, and it's called the SIM swap scam. To protect yourself, call your carrier and ask them to add a PIN to your account or enable SIM lock. I was actually able to do this quickly online by myself, and it prevents scammers from stealing access to your number. Okay, but let's say the worst happens and your phone is gone. Here's exactly what to do as fast as possible. Grab any other device, a friend's phone or your laptop, and log into iCloud.com/find. Then choose Mark as Lost to put your device into lost mode. That instantly locks your device and allows you to put a message on the screen. Just be careful if you decide to set a message that includes your contact info, because if a thief has your phone, he can now use your contact info to send phishing messages to try to trick you into sending him the password to your lost phone. If you're sure your phone is gone for good, then you can hit erase iPhone as a last resort, then remove it from your trusted devices list. Then make 2 phone calls. Call your bank to freeze any accounts that you're worried about, and call your carrier to suspend your line. Here's the catch though. None of this works unless Find My was already turned on before your phone got stolen. So if there's one thing you do when this video ends, it should be re-watching the section on how to turn on Find My. But how can you prevent your phone from getting stolen in the first place? My go-to strategy is to always use pants with zipper pockets, not loose open ones. If that's not an option and you're in a packed crowd or a busy train, rest your hand on your phone so that nobody can slide it out without you feeling. Next, never walk down the street with your nose glued to your phone. That's basically begging a thief on an e-bike to come up behind you and snatch it. If you need to check a map in a sketchy area, step inside a shop to do it instead of stopping dead middle of the sidewalk. In Colombia, they have a saying, no dar papaya, which basically means don't hand thieves an easy opportunity. The less you flash around, the less of a target you become. And if you're heading somewhere genuinely rough, then there's no shame in just using a cheap decoy phone that only does calls, texts, and maps and has no other sensitive info on it. That might be overkill for many destinations, but in Colombia and Latin America, it's not that uncommon to have a street phone. I actually have one myself. I don't use it all the time, but if I'm going somewhere where I feel a little vulnerable, like a super crowded festival or walking outside at night, I feel more comfortable using this cheap old cracked extra phone. Whether it's your phone or other valuables, there's nothing worse than getting something stolen while you're on vacation. The good news is there's a whole world of little clever anti-theft gadgets that makes that almost impossible. I rounded up the best anti-theft travel gear that thieves hate in this video, so watch that one next. Trust me, a couple of these are so simple, you'll wonder why you didn't have them years ago. Like, subscribe to the things. Love you. Bye-bye.